The Prodigy, a band that needs no introduction. But here's one anyway. Formed in Braintree, Essex in 1990, this group would go on to redefine dance music. Liam Howlett, the mastermind behind the music. Keith Flint, a chaotic magnetic frontman. Maxim reality, bringing the rhymes and stage presence. Leeroy Thornhill, master of dance moves. This was the Prodigy. From the outset, they were different. A blend of hardcore techno, breakbeat, and a punk rock attitude. Howlett's studio wizardry, sampling everything from old records to cartoon themes, created a unique soundscape. This was not your typical dance music. This was something more raw, more energetic, more rebellious. Their early rave tapes, distributed at gigs and through underground networks, created a buzz. Kids, drawn to the intense energy of their music, packed out warehouses and clubs. The Prodigy were quickly becoming synonymous with the burgeoning rave scene. But it was their breakthrough single, Charlie, that would catapult them to fame. 1991. Charlie hits the airwaves. The song, with its infectious melody and sampled cartoon vocals, became an instant anthem. It shot to number 3 in the UK charts. Suddenly, the Prodigy were everywhere. Top of the Pops, Radio 1, Smash Hits magazine. Everybody in the place, their follow-up single solidified their status. Rave culture was crossing over into the mainstream, and the Prodigy were leading the charge. Their debut album Experience, released in 1992, captured the raw energy of their live shows. It was a critical and commercial success, cementing their place in music history. But the Prodigy were more than just a rave act. They were evolving, experimenting, pushing boundaries. Their sound, while rooted in rave culture, was beginning to incorporate elements of rock, metal, and even punk. 1994. Music for the Jilted Generation arrives. This wasn't just a sophomore album, it was a statement. The album showcased a band maturing. Their sound, darker and more aggressive, reflected a growing unease with the commercialization of rave culture. Tracks like No Good, Start the Dance, and Voodoo People were huge club hits. But it was the instrumental, Their Law, that truly showcased their musical prowess. This was a band refusing to be pigeonholed, refusing to be confined by genre. They were pioneers, innovators, and their influence on electronic music was undeniable. They had taken the raw energy of rave, infused it with their own unique blend of styles, and created something entirely new, but the best was yet to come. Global Domination, 1997, The Fat of the Land, an album that would propel the Prodigy to global superstardom. From the opening distorted riff of Smack My Bitch Up, to the closing notes of Fuel My Fire, this was an album that demanded attention. Firestarter, with its iconic video featuring a manic Keith Flint, became a global anthem. Breathe, another monster hit, showcased their ability to blend electronic and rock elements seamlessly. The Fat of the Land topped the charts in over 20 countries. The Prodigy were now one of the biggest bands on the planet. They had transcended genre. They were a cultural phenomenon, but their success was not without controversy. The explicit lyrics of Smack My Bitch Up drew criticism and even bans from some radio stations. But the Prodigy, never once to shy away from a challenge, embraced the controversy. It only seemed to fuel their fire. Their influence extended beyond the music. Their look, a mix of punk, rave, and their own unique style, was hugely influential. Keith Flint, with his devil horns hairstyle and intense stage presence, became an icon. They inspired a generation, not just of musicians, but of artists, designers, and filmmakers. Their music found its way onto film soundtracks, video games, and TV shows. They won countless awards, including 2 Brit Awards, 3 MTV Video Music Awards, and 2 Grammy nominations. But perhaps their greatest achievement was their ability to connect with audiences on such a visceral level. Their music wasn't just something you listened to, it was something you felt. It was raw, it was powerful, it was liberating. A lasting legacy. The Prodigy continued to release music, tour, and inspire over the next 2 decades. They remained a vital force in electronic music, always pushing boundaries and experimenting with new sounds. Their influence on the likes of the Chemical Brothers, Pendulum, and countless others is undeniable. The tragic death of Keith Flint in 2019 sent shockwaves through the music world. He was a true original, a one-off, a pioneer. The Prodigy, without their iconic frontman, would never be the same, but their music, their legacy, their impact on music and culture will continue to inspire and excite generations to come. They were, and always will be, the Prodigy.
I heard Grandmaster Flash and the Wheels of Steel. That was the first sort of do-it-yourself record for me, you know. And when I heard that record, I was like, it was as if all I had to do to make music was to buy some turntables and learn how to scratch. I remember being at school and working through my 6-week holiday at school just to get to some Technics and a mixer, and basically like for the next, I think I was about 15, and for the next sort of year I was just stayed in all the time and just learned how to do that.
I suppose it was our meeting ground, really. You know, whatever you did, you know, if you was going out for the weekend and stuff, you'd always have a Friday night down at the barn.
People used to come down from London every week, you know, because it was such a wicked night.
Yeah, it was a wicked club. And it was real, and all the people there were really into it. Me and Leeroy used to dance, and to be quite honest, I went down there, I'd never danced anywhere in my entire life, ever. Not even at a wedding reception, you know, and...
You sure?
No, sure.
What evil?
I wouldn't say Leeroy sort of taught me to dance, although everything that I do has stemmed from dancing with Leeroy. You know, sort of saying that Leeroy taught me to dance, sort of summons thoughts of us sort of putting on our favourite tracks in you know, at home in the bedroom or in the front room or something, and you know, him saying, you know, left ear right there, and you know, turn, and you know, as if you're like some dance studio. That's not at all.
One thing clearly sticks in my head was a time we were on the beach, and it was about, around sort of, it must have been 5 in the morning or something. There's about 300 people there, and I was DJing at the back of a transit van, and this guy came up to me with, you know, long hair, which was Keith, and he was like, "Oh, the tune you were playing last week," and it went, and he tried to sing it, and I pulled it out. I think it was the right one, you know.
Yeah, it was. And he said, "I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll chuck some of these tracks down, and some like it, and I'll sort you out a tape." So yeah, cool. And then the next week he turns up, chucks me the tape. He says, "Oh, that track's on there and a few others. I reckon you'll be into it." And on the other side's my stuff. So of course I got home, chucked the tape on, listened to the track that I wanted to hear, yeah, and I was, you know, buzzing. It was really cool. Checked out the other stuff, you know, and you don't expect to know people who can write music properly. You know, you've heard loads of sort of like acoustic demo type things that mates have put together, and I chucked it on. I was like, I can't believe that someone I know has put this together. And yeah, it was just, it was superb.
Charlie said, always tell your mummy before you go off somewhere.
We're on stage, Keith's feeling pretty ill. I was doing a sound check on stage and stuff, and I played Charlie at the mix that was in the charts, and the DJ was also checking his headphones at the time, and Keith went up to the DJ and he was like, "What's this tune you're playing? It's wicked, you know." And he's like, "Oh, it's not me, it's your man over there." And that was me playing the record, you know, and it was the first time you heard it, wasn't it? Yeah. And he was feeling ill.
I'm sort of thinking, God, check this tune out, that's nuts.
It was the repercussions after that record which killed it. You know, people who were copying other artists, you know, sort of all this kind of crap that followed the Sesame Street. They were the real novelty tunes. They were cashing in on what I'd done, but once I'd made Charlie, I knew I'd never make another record like that again. In sort of the early days, you got the one-hit wonder thing, you know, you got the dance albums don't sell, all that type of shit, you know, and we kind of, every time we released a record, we sort of, you know, we sort of proved people wrong.
It just showed that if you're real and you stick to yourself or stick to what you believe, and you do it for yourself and not for the rest of the world, you know, that was the way to get things to pay off, really.
I was really disillusioned with the whole rave scene, and the final straw was when we were in Scotland on stage at a thing called Resurrection, and there was a guy, an official standing at the mixing desk, EQing the bass out of the music, you know, and when we were on stage. And so I just walked off stage, that was it, you know, I wasn't playing my music, no way. We put a statement on the One Love EP, and that for me was kind of like, that was for me the last time I wanted to play in any rave in England, just because it finished, you know, it had gone. You know, it had gone in '93, it wasn't what I was into when I first got into it, and it was like, we'd already started to make our ways into sort of like small festivals and stuff like that, and that was kind of more of a buzz for us, whether it was going to kill the band or whatever it was going to do. We were just into doing that because it was a good buzz, you know, it was a different thing. Everyone before in the dancing was kind of like scared to step out of it because they were worried about not being underground, you know, which is a stupid thing, really. None of us wanted to be pop stars and still don't. But it's like, we weren't afraid to sort of have our faces in the video. Where other bands were like faceless techno artists, we were like, no, it's possible to be credible and to have a face, you know, and kind of, you know, and that's why we wanted to do a video like that, and it worked, you know, it was a good video. The press spend all year making up stupid sort of descriptions of bands and stuff, and we just thought we'd have a go, you know? But just something at the time that we just said, you know, and all of a sudden it's like, Prodigy are the electronic punks, you know? But whatever. We just do what we do, and other people can make up whatever descriptions they want.
Having the long hair was like a real kind of party, ravey thing to do, and I suddenly realised that, you know, I was still a part of that. And then I thought, and then you're getting into snowboarding and you know, some more, you know, a bit of a sort of street culture type thing going on there, you know, and I suddenly thought, I'm going to cut it all off and just dye it red. You know, one day I'm sort of having it dyed, and I said, have you got any clippers with you? And they said, yeah. So I just sort of like took the middle out and thought, well, I'll make it a bit wider and stick this bit up here. And went round Liam's, and Liam looked through his kitchen window and went, now what have you done? He said, no, man, it's cool, I like it, I mean, I'm down with it. And
at the end of the day, you know, if you can pull it off, you pull it off. You don't have it, do you?
I mean, you know, I suddenly realised I won't be going to work again. I suppose when you sort of like, you leave school, you've got parents. My parents are extremely straight, you know, frighteningly straight. So they've drummed it into you, like, you know, you need to be getting a job, you need to be looking like someone always wants to employ you. And I suddenly realised, that, I don't have to. I haven't got an employer. I work for myself. This isn't work. I'm having a laugh. I'm in a band, and I'm just going to take the piss.
Hiya! Alright, how you doing? Look, now I've lost the others. Where am I going? Everyone's gone. I don't know where they're going. Here you go, Prodigy.
How you feel?
Woo! Totally ecstatic.
Best dance, best alternative, is it? And best video. Yeah, so that was really nice. Everyone knows you're lucky if you get it 3 times in one night.
The only reason we come to the awards is because it's voted for by the people. You know, we get the coolest people coming to our shows, so we're really lucky, you know. We don't have to play in front of a load of plums. We've got, like, cool people to play in front of, and that's who we respect.
If it wasn't voted by the people, then it was more an industry type of thing. We probably wouldn't be here, so...
Well, we wouldn't. We definitely wouldn't be here.
Well, I might be, because it's free drink, so...
I see myself as like 2 different people, you know. The way you see me now and then there's Maxim in Prodigy. You know, it's something. It's like Liam's music has brought something out of me. If you saw me on stage MCing before the Prodigy, I would have just been walking up and down the stage, just MCing. But because over the years, the music's brought something out of me, inside of me. It's just like the part of me which wants to do parachute jumps, or wants to drive cars fast, that wants to jump off cliff edges and whatever. That part inside of me has been brought out, and that comes out on stage.
I love doing the festivals myself, you know, all the other bands. You get to know everyone, and, you know, it's just spending the summer travelling to all the festivals. I mean, it's probably what most people want to spend their time doing anyway. Listening to good live music, you know, and, you know, sort of soaking a bit of the summer up and stuff. I remember there was like 2 sets of barriers because there were so many people there. They kind of had obviously the front of the stage, and then so many thousands of people, and then another barrier. And you know, on this barrier there was like lines of sort of military police or soldier or something going on there, and they're like literally sort of bashing kids, telling them to get down and stuff. I remember just sort of running around there and people soldiers trying to stop me, and me just getting through, and security sort of saying no, he's in the band, you know, but me not really sort of caring too much. Went to this second barrier and literally just pulled 2 of these soldiers down and used them to climb up onto the barrier, and, you know, stirred all these people up that were being told to calm down, stirred them up and, you know, got them jumping around. And to me, that the satisfaction of doing that and the lawlessness of doing that was unbelievable. You know, in Russia, suddenly it proved to me that when you're on stage, you are lawless. What you want to do is what you want to do, and the buzz that overtakes you is unbelievable, and that really proved that to me, that you almost shocked yourself, because I don't think you push soldiers around in Russia, you know, sort of thing that you hear of people not being seen again.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Probably one of the most powerful feelings in the world when you're standing on the stage at Glastonbury. You can see the crowd rammed in. Just the energy of our crowds are always like a sea of like up and down. They're throwing the energy at you, you're throwing it right back to them. It's the most powerful feeling in the world. Something that a lot of people just don't have the opportunity to experience.
I'm the travel starter, punching in the data. I'm the fear addicted, data illustrated. I'm a fire starter, twisted fire starter. You're the fire starter, twisted fire starter. You're the fire starter, twisted fire starter.
It's Mother's Day on Sunday.
Yeah.
What does your mum think of it all? Especially your hair. I mean, tell me about that. What does your mum say?
Oh, she loves it. You know, she's lived life. She knows what it's all about. So she knows that, you know, it's about enjoying yourself and, you know, doing what you want to do. So
it's Mother's Day on Sunday. Take the mic a sec.
Oh yeah.
And look into the lens. And let's just give a message to your mum. Imagine
well,
your mum's
see,
watching.
yeah, but no, see, that's the point is that she's actually out in Tenerife at the moment, having a little holiday.
Doesn't matter.
No. So she won't actually get that. She's got a present and everything already. So.
Well, just give it a, you know, just give it a mum if you're watching. You know, I love you.
Yeah, but she's not.
Have a good holiday in Tenerife.
No.
Oh, come on. Just do it for Mother's Day, you know.
No.
Psychosomatic, panic insane. Bring the pressure. Just like I got no gesture. Psychosomatic, panic insane. Inhale. Gotta make that
The fans look like they're not just kids.
There's, you know, quite a diverse range of people out there, which is cool, you know. We like that energy. For me, that crowd feels sort of challenging, mature. They're not going to take any shit, you know, and you know that if you're rocking them, you're doing well, and what you put in, you're going to get back, you know. And I'm confident that System have done a really good job of like stirring them up and getting some mania out there.
So this is nice. This is one of the better ones.
Has it got a toilet in there?
Yeah, I've got toilet, I've got MTV, I've got, well, what I ain't got. I've got gym.
Keith, man. Keith, you got messes all over this place.
What's that, mate?
You got to tidy up.
Oh, mate.
Keith.
So, yeah, I'm going to have room service in a minute.
Move over, Keith.
Yeah,
Come on, man, I want to get in the shower. Move over. Four of us to do.
If you're real and you stick to yourself or stick to what you believe and you do it for yourself and not for the rest of the world, you know, that was the way to get things to pay off, really.